Welcome in, Leos. This is your monthly intuitive tarot reading for April. So we'll see, tap into your energy, your current energies, and see based on that what are some information that can help you navigate your next now moment. And see what's going on for you all. We are now in springtime here in the Northern Hemisphere. I know those of you in the Southern are in fall. So we are shifting in seasons, which represents as well the rebirth or the transition, the transformation that we're going through inwardly, right? There's also the inward transformation that coincides with the shift of the seasons. So depending on that energy of that season, you're going to start feeling, and it's going to ask you to kind of shift your energy as well. So for those of you going through spring, it's that rebirth, right? And really, the whole month of March to me represented that transition, that rebirth. And now in April, now that we're fully, we have the spring equinox and we're now in spring, we're now coming into that new rebirthed energy. And for those in fall, it's a time that we're starting to really, maybe slow down a little bit, but this is the harvest season, right? So it's time to reap what we produce from the seeds we've sown, the energy we put out through the summertime. And it's a beautiful time, right? Things are starting to change. We're starting to slow down and want some more comforts, the feeling of comfort, right? But also it's a time of gratitude and of all the abundance that we just had. And that's kind of the fall energy. So for Leos, for some reason that was important for you to hear. April's going to be another big astrological month. March kind of was a little calmer. There wasn't as many oppositions or squares. I think the big thing in April, we have a lot of Aries energy still moving into April. We are going to have all planets in Aries, or not all, sorry. There's going to be 7 planets in Aries. So that is a stellium, a major stellium at that, happening when Mercury enters Aries. So we have Mars and then Mercury. So that's going to be mid-month. And that's a big, that's very rare to have 7 planets in the same sign, just so you know. So we are going to really be heavy on that Aries still, which is about the I. It's about who am I? It's about showing up in the world, taking action, being bold, not holding back, standing in our truth. It's that fire sign, that fire energy still. So there's going to be a lot of strong kind of passions and inspiration happening as well with that. So we're really breaking through any sort of identities, beliefs, perceptions about self, and anything that has been blocking us from being our authentic truth or being our authentic selves. And also how we live. How do we show up? Are we living authentically? And we're going to start making some major decisions and actions based on, hey, we haven't been doing this. We haven't been living in our truth. We haven't been living our dreams. So Aries is going to be an interesting month to see how it unfolds for everyone. So let's start with some Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. Facing your fears, look for ways to strengthen your connection to the universe and others. Stay peaceful and calm in the knowing of who you are. Exactly. In that centeredness of standing in who you are, that is where you're in your most power. And it's only in standing in your truth, it's only in living your truth that you actually are harnessing your, like, the powers that you probably didn't even know you had. And no matter what's approaching you in the external world and challenging you, or even, right, your fears are going to be your biggest challenger in life. It's not necessarily the external world, it's your fears. And that's facing your fears and standing in your power. And it's about rewiring your fears and letting your fears know, hey, there's no validity in this fear and I got this, right? So that's something that's going to be key for you this month. Resilience. There's no need to rush or push. This is a time to take things as they come. You have the determination and patience to handle what is happening. Yes, this is about surrendering, which is another theme that's really been coming up. I did get a channeled message today as I'm filming this that really focused on this idea of surrendering and this idea of being in the flow and not trying to push or control. So that's really interesting that that came up for you, Leos. Life is better together. Seek assistance from your community, connect with family, friends, or others who will support you. It can be as simple as making a phone call. This journey can feel very lonely, right? Especially going through periods of leveling up, of a lot of expansion, of spiritual and energetic shifts. But I've been seeing a lot more people connecting with new people, people of your soul tribe that are at the same vibrational frequency. So there is connections coming or that you found that are going to help you navigate the next path forward. And creating a community of support and love and openness and the same sorts of perspective that's more open, and ones that are going to help you fill you up more and help you expand even more to the next level. Let's dive into the tarot here. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. I just did, so I'm filming this when the last week of March, and the weekly reading had a lot of night energy as well. So I feel like two things here. There's a little bit of conflict here between the energy of the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles wants to just go for it, right? Take a leap of faith, move forward fast, just jump into things, and then which is looking forward. Where the Knight of Pentacles is looking backwards, and it's like, that's a lot slower energy of like, oh wait, that's because of some fear or belief systems, right? Of like, oh, nope, I got to take one step at a time. I need to make sure this path is safe. I have to have a goal, and I have to know where I'm headed, and I have to be very logical. But there's conflict here because it's like one's trying to go this way and the other's kind of stalling out and holding back. So I feel like you're going to feel a little kind of this pulling of energy, this dissonance here. So this is something to be aware of. And maybe that's something that you've been in and it has created some sort of lack or stagnancy a bit, because it's like, oh, my soul just is ready for change, right? It's ready to explode like the volcano. But maybe your external world has been more like the Knight of Pentacles. Like it's kind of been dragging. There hasn't been a lot of change. The Five of Pentacles can also be about like money issues. Just money's been tight. Things haven't been flowing. Maybe your relationships have been difficult. You've kind of felt out in the cold. You haven't been feeling the warmth and nurturing energy of a real solid, healthy love. So it could be all different things for different, different of you out there. But I think this is kind of what you've been facing. But I do feel a lot of it has to do with your belief systems that have kind of kept you in this Knight of Pentacles energy. But life is really asking you to kind of step out of this energy, step out away from your fears. You can stay calm. You don't have to fly forward impulsively like the Knight of Wands, but you can go forward passionately and act upon your passions and your inspirations. And so, because this says there's no need to rush. So we don't have to rush. We don't have to force things, but we also just, if we just surrender more, the more we surrender to what is, the faster things are going to change. And then bam, look at that, the Tower. So this month, you're going to have that kind of wham. All of a sudden, this is going to shift you. There's going to be a change here, or something that comes up that really gets you out of that Knight of Pentacles energy. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. So at the heart of your reading is the Ten of Pentacles. So with the Five of Pentacles, there could be a change in abundance for you this month, because this is the card of abundance. And then it's almost like you have to like fight off all the people that are vying for your time or your skill or at work. Like there's some sort of success here too that comes in very out of the blue unexpectedly. And it's like you have to fight off. This could be love interests. You know, it's just, I feel like after the Tower and the Ten of Pentacles, it's like some wave of luck comes in here. And it's like, but then it's like, whoa, it's that kind of thing of like, you wanted all this to come in fast, right? That's what you've been wanting. And then it actually does come in fast. So that's why it says, don't rush, don't be impatient, because sometimes if we want everything at once, all of a sudden we're realizing like this is too much to try and, you know, juggle. Six of Wands. So definitely something about attention and being seen. And there is some sort of like, people are seeing you. There's success here happening. Page of Cups. New offers, and then the Devil. So this is where, be careful what you wish for, but I also feel like this is what you wanted, but I think all of a sudden this is your fears, the Devil. This is your fears coming in, and like, you know, this could show up as like, all of a sudden when you get all this success or this abundance, you're kind of like, that little voice, the old beliefs start coming in about, oh, you're not good enough, or you're not worthy enough, or why would all these people really want what you have to offer? Or there's fears now about how seen you are now and what that means, and that can be a little scary. So there's something here, after all this occurs, it's like there's a little bit of test of like, that fear and those beliefs are going to try to pull you back in or come back up. And now you've done this transformation, you've done this integration. So you're not going to fall back into the old ways anymore. Let's see. Let's get a clarifier for the Tower. The High Priestess. Oops, we have... And the Justice card. Yeah, it's like just like a karmic windfall here. This is like things just change on a dime for you, where before it's like struggle and effort and like things aren't progressing for me, and I've been putting energy out there and putting energy to try and shift, whether it's like, you know, change your luck, or like put a side gig out there and trying to make money off it to turn into like, you know, a full-time job, whatever it is. It's like all of a sudden it just, your luck changes here. But these are three major arcana cards. So this is like a big Tower. This is a big life-changing thing that occurs in April for you. And I think you're going to find, this is tied to your level of awareness and enlightenment here. So like things start to come together for you, and it's due to you really focusing on just working on your vibration and focusing on, you know, your soul's calling, following your greatest excitement and passions. And all of a sudden it's like things just start to work here for you. So I love this for you Leos. Let's get one for the Seven of Wands. Nine of Cups. Yeah. You get what you want, but then it feels like, oh my God, like all this is coming at me all at once here. And it can be a little like throw you off guard, throw you off balance. And how do I navigate all this? And then the Devil. Ten of Wands. And the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's like your seeds are finally, it's harvest time for you. So you've sowed the seeds, you've tended, you've put the energy out there, and finally things like the time you invested in something is now equitable for you. Something is really finally becoming abundant for you. There's definitely abundance here. And the karmic piece to this is realizing that you're starting a whole new path. So this is like you've completed an old cycle and you're starting a whole new cycle in your life. And to me, the Devil is just letting go of anything that's not aligning as well with the new path that you're now leveling up on. Like letting go of anything that's heavyweight, right? For you to handle the new life, for you to really handle the new abundance and what life is calling for you now, you do have to let go of some things. You have to lighten your load. It's kind of almost like you got to clear out the closets of the stuff you don't use anymore, that don't serve a purpose and are just causing, again, holding space so that you can now fill it up with new things, newer, nicer things that you actually have use for now. And letting go of anything that I think this is really going to help you see what's equitable in your life and what's not, right? So whether this is going to help you really also see people's true colors. So as you're leveling up and maybe finding some sort of success in something or some change, I think you're going to really clearly see the karmic pieces in your life that you're like, yeah, that was part of my old life, but it's not supportive of what I'm doing now and my vibration. All right. And one last thing before we go, I'm going to pull an I Ching card for a closing message for the month. So this is going to be a big month for you, Leo. So buckle up, hold on tight, because I think things are going to shift here pretty quickly. All right, you got cutting through fire over thunder. There is an obstacle here, possibly an incorrect attitude that needs to be dealt with. Try to see the problem clearly. Forcefulness will bring misfortune. Use your inner strength to withdraw. So I think that's really about where you've been. The beliefs or the attitudes you've had in general about life. And that's too where I think the resilience comes in. And not to force things, because maybe that was like a pattern for you, like you tended to try and force like outcomes or force control or force people to change or force, success or something like that. Like there's a lot of like strong, impatient energy about, I want this, or I need this to change or something around those lines. But you're learning how to surrender and focus more about the shift in your vibration, focusing on the blocks based on your beliefs and your mentalities and facing fears. And that's when all of a sudden, once you start that integration, that's when things quickly change for you. Leo's very exciting. Let me know in the comments how this shows up for you. Come back, let me know, because this will be an interesting one to see how this unfolds for you Leos out there. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, join the Lyran Soul Tribe by subscribing. We are all here, especially during this very important transformational year of 2026. It's almost like we're being rebirthed out of the darkness into this new reality here. So That's what I'm here to support you guys do with my readings and my channelings, to help you guys navigate the energies right now and the shifts occurring. So thanks for joining in, and I will see you in the next reading.